Hey there nation, and welcome to the show where we help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander Cheapskate, and welcome to another episode of Way of the Underhive. This series is dedicated to helping brand new players to Necromunda build their starting rosters and learn more about the game mechanics of their favorite gangs. And on today's episode, we will discuss playing a very narrative heavy list, which is a Venator gang based on a fellow YouTuber named Double Skull Wargaming. This gang is called the Bloodmoon Hunters, which are his Venator gang that he uses in his battle reports. We will discuss the narrative background of this gang as well as display its unique features. We'll provide a 2,400 credit starting roster for your very first scenario, discuss how you can play this gang on the tabletop, provide tips for the gang's development over the course of a campaign, and provide more critical information that you can use in your campaigns on Necromunda. Now, because this video will be a little bit more of a deeper dive, I will put timestamps in the description box down below so that way you can click and navigate to the portion of the battle of the video that you want to see. And at the same time, I will also provide two new links to this video as well. First of all, I have a link to Double Skull Wargaming's channel. I highly suggest go check it out. He's got some really amazing narrative battle reports with beautiful production design as well, so you definitely should check out that channel. And also, I have a link, Yak Tribe link now for myself. I decided to log in for Yak Tribe, and I actually have this gang published on Yak Tribe, so if you want to download the gang cards for that and use that as gang rosters, you can perfectly do so, and you can find that in the description box down below. So let's go on and talk about exactly the narrative background of Double Skull Wargaming's Bloodmoon Hunters. So first of all, let's talk about the narrative background of these miniatures. Like I said before, these are actually inspired by Double Skull Wargaming's Venator gang that he uses in his battle reports, which is absolutely fantastic. I thought he had a really interesting looking roster with some really interesting weapon and equipment choices as well. He also has a couple of squads in this gang, as well as normal scum fighters, and I just thought it was really neat, as well as the way that their skills and their initial equipment was laid out as well. It was a much more of a close quarters battle game than I'm used to building when it comes to my list, which is actually kind of a good thing because I've been experimenting with trying a more close combat oriented lists in my own games in Necromunda as well, and getting comfortable being up close and personal and fighting my opponents that way. And when I saw the way that this game was operating on the tabletop in Double Skull Wargaming's battle reports, I thought it'd be really fun to actually go ahead and make these characters and actually create a list that's rated for the Eranthian Secession. And that's exactly where this idea for this list came from. And by the way, if you haven't done so yet, I highly suggest you go take a look at Double Skull Wargaming's channel. He does a beautiful work with his battle reports. So let's talk about some of the unique features that are in this gang. First of all, there is actually a pretty decent balance between close quarters battle as well as shooting. So you do have some really good, powerful fighting, up close and personal type weapons and equipment and things of that nature. But you also have some good shooters as well to protect yourself at medium to long ranges, which is actually quite nice as well. And because of that, we also have a really powerful assault vehicle in this gang as well. The Double Skull Wargaming actually has like this really crazy wolf quad that just kind of runs around, that sets people on fire and rams them and slices them with its wheel sights, which I thought was quite good. So we're actually including this vehicle in this list as well. And at the same time, this is going to have a very aggressive and very up in your face in-person type of play style when it comes to this game being fielded on the tabletop. The idea for this gang is that a direct approach is the absolute best approach to take when it comes to this table. Now, if you'll also notice in this video too, there is no alliance for this gang as of yet, and the reason why is because it's pretty much whatever alliance you want to make. Double Skull didn't actually make an alliance for this gang at all in his battle reports, so I left it open to whatever would best suit you as the player for whatever you want to use it for. So use whatever alliance you want that makes them unique for you to use. I would suggest Water Guild because it'd be really good for collecting bounties, which is exactly what this gang is all about in the first place. So that being said, let's go ahead and talk about Double Skull Wargaming's The Bloodmoon Hunters Venator gang, rated at 2,400 credits. That way you can play the Underhive as well as the Ash Waste. The primary skills for this Venator gang is going to be ferocity as well as shooting, and their secondary skills are going to be agility as well as combat. And for those of you guys who know about Venator gangs, you get to choose your two primary as well as your two secondary for your gang. So that being said, let's go and talk about the individual fighters that can be found within it. So first of all, we have the leader, Tiberius Cage. He's going to be the hunt leader. He's going to cost you 360 credits for this fighter. You're going to use the versatile stat line, which is the very first of the stats available that you can choose from for your Venator gangs. And you give him an armored undersuit as well as layered flak armor. That's going to give him a 4-up armor save normally, as well as a 3+ armor save against explosives. You're also going to equip this guy with a melt-a-gun, which is a really powerful short-range shooting attack, as well as a power knife and stub gun with dum-dum rounds for backup weapons. You're also giving this guy photo goggles so that way he can see better in the darkness, and you're also giving him hip shooting as well, so that way he can reach up to I think it's 18 inches, no sorry, 22 inches that you can reach out with the threat level using your melt-a-gun, which is all kinds of funny to absolutely melt faces. Now, if you get within short range, you'll be super effective because you take advantage of that melt-a trait. This guy also has strength 4 close combat attacks in terms of his power knife, as well as a stub gun from his dub gun rounds from his stub gun. And I also suggest using that hip shooting exploit to get within range of targets to make the maximum of your guys' short ranges on your melt-a-guns. After we have Endathor Onyx Blade, which is one of the hunt champions in this game. It's going to cost you 210 credits. This fighter is going to use the close combat stats from the champion's stat line, as well as layered flak armor. He's going to give him a 5-up armor save against normal attacks and a 4-up armor save against blast attacks. He's also packing a power sword as well as an auto pistol with man-stopper rounds for reliable strength 4 shooting. You also give him the photo goggles so that they can see in the dark, as well as nerves of steel so that way they can skip painting. This guy's going to be a close combat beast with weapon skill 3, striking at strength 5, minus 2 AP and 1 damage with his power sword, and strength 4 attacks with his man-stopper rounds from his auto pistol. And the nice thing about this character is with the cool characteristics of 5+, you'll be escaping pinning 83% of the time, which is absolutely fantastic. Your gang's second champion will be Crag Orcslayer. He's going to be another hunt champion at 245 credits. He once again has close combat stats as well. He's also wearing layered flak armor, so that way he has a 5-up armor save normally and a 4-up armor save against blast attacks. He's going to have a chain glaive for some beautiful chain glaive fighting action, as well as a stub gun with dum-dum rounds for a backup weapon. And you're also giving him blasting charges, because who doesn't love strength 5 blasts, which are all kinds of fun. You're going to give this guy photo goggles so that we can see in the dark, as well as give him nerves of steel, because he will be shot at quite a bit for your gang. Now, once again, this guy's also going to have a close combat beast with a weapon skill 3, with a 2-inch versatile trait on his chain glaive. He's going to be striking at strength 6, minus 2 AP, causing 2 damage as well. And if your opponents do try to shoot at him and try to pin him as well, he can escape pinning with a cool characteristic of 5+. You'll be escaping pinning 83% of the time with your nerves of steel skill as well. And do not forget about the fact this guy's got blasting charges that he can lob 8 inches away at targets, with strength 5 with a 5-inch blast template at minus 1 AP and 2 damage. That is nothing but all kinds of fun. From there, we then have Alicia Winters, which is the hunter specialist in this gang. She's going to cost 185 credits. Once again, you're giving her shooter stat lines with a better ballista skill, as well as mesh armor for a 5-up armor save. You're giving her a last gun with focusing crystal that's also equipped with an infrasight as well. That way, you have that 2+ to hit with your ballista skill at long range. With a focusing crystal, makes your strength 4 with minus 2 AP as well. And with an infrasight, nonetheless, you could actually be able to shoot in all visibility conditions, and your opponents don't benefit from partial cover. She's also packing an axe as well as auto pistol man-stopper rounds for her backup weapons too. So this lady's going to be an absolute beast, hitting targets out there at 36 inches with her long last, and shooting in all visibility conditions as well, where they don't get the benefit at all from having any partial cover. Now, she does have to worry about an ammo 3+ ammo roll, which is unstable for her long last because she's taking a focusing crystal, but with a 3+ ammo roll, it's well worth the risk. From there, we have Morgan Showtime Creed, who's going to be another hunter, rated at 160 credits. This fighter's got the shooter stat line as well for that good ballista skill. He's also wearing mesh armor for a 5-up armor save, as well as packing a hotshot last gun with infrasight as well. With that, he's able to hit his targets at 3+ on the ballista skill with strength 4 minus 1 AP. Now, the ammo roll will be with 4+, but that's not bad, considering it's the same kind of ammo roll that most auto weapons have. He is packing a stub gun with dum-dum rounds for a backup weapon, and he also has an axe 2 for close combat. That infrasight on that hotshot last gun is a real killer here, so that way you can see in all visibility conditions, and your opponents do not receive cover from partial cover either. After that, we have Helios Hex, who's 100 that cost you 200 credits. It was quite interesting seeing this guy used in multiple battle reports on Double Wargamer's channel. Now, this guy's got the shooter stat line as well as layered flak armor, so that he's got a 5-up armor save normally, 4-up armor save against blast attacks. And he's packing twin auto pistols with man-stopper rounds, which is, pretty good, strength 4 attacks. But what makes his character interesting is that he's got a grapnel launcher, which means that for a double action, he can travel anywhere 12 inches in a straight line, vertically, angularly, however you want to, just skipping as many levels as you want to get him to where he needs to go. He's kind of like Batman if Batman was packing 2 Ingram Mac 10s, I suppose, is basically what he'd be with. He also has incendiary charges too, so that we can lob 5 inch blast templates with strength 3 incendiary charges that can set you on fire, which is also kind of fun. And this guy's also equipped with photo goggles, so that way you can see in all visibility conditions. Like I said, one of the most interesting fighters in that Battle Report series. After Helios Hex, we have Shroom, who is another hunter, who's rated also at 200 credits. This fighter's got versatile stat line as well, so he's got the faster movement allowance. He's got mesh armor, the 5-up armor save, as well as a chain sword and stub gun round with dum-dum rounds, which is, just quite pedestrian, normal stuff to use. The Chainsword is nice because you get +1 to hit, stub gun for a backup weapon. Now this guy, I decided to equip this guy with a grapnel launcher as well, so that we can partner up with Helios Hex as they rock around, dropping incendiary charges on their opponents, just like Helios Hex. Shroom is now packing incendiary charges too, because having that 9-inch range with the 5-inch blast template with Blaze, that's just all kinds of fun. And at the same time, he's also packing photo goggles, so that way you can also see in all visibility conditions as well. And then, of course, we have Clint Tombstone, who's another hunter rated at 155 credits. This guy's also got the shooter stat line for that better ballista skill, and he's packing mesh armor for a 5 armor save. He's also got a shotgun with solid and scattered rounds, as well as incendiary ammo. Incendiary ammo and inferno ammo are actually all kinds of awesome because you get blaze with it. At the same time, it's also strength 4, causes 2 damage. Inferno ammo is all kinds of fun. He's also got a stub gun with dumping rounds for a backup weapon, as well as photo goggles, so that way you can see in all conditions as well. So this guy's going to be used as a bodyguard for Tiberius Cage, because Tiberius Cage is going to be exposing himself quite often using hip shooting to shoot at his opponent with a multi-gun, so I have Clint Tombstone go with him to protect him, so that way he doesn't get hit. Up next is Piper Kruger. She's another hunter rated at 235 credits. You're giving her the shooter stat lines, so that way she's got the better intelligence score. She's also going to have a House Caldor legacy, and she's also packing mesh armor for that 5 armor save and a last pistol. But the reason why this character is unique is because she has blasting charges as well as frag grenades, and to get her grenades further, she has bomb rats, which is also kind of fun too, and she's also equipped with photo goggles. Now the bomb rats for this character is where the killer is. Make sure that you always deploy your bomb rats as the very last action of your gang, so that way you get a full 12 inches out of that bomb rat to get directly to target. You can also go to 60 inches if you move Piper before laying down the bomb rat, and with the intelligence of 7+, you can reliably control rats about 53% of the time, which is what you use. Now when you deploy the bomb rats, what you probably want to use first are blasting charges, because they have a much bigger explosion, the higher damage, as well as higher armor penetration as well. If you do run out of blasting charges because of a bad ammo roll, you can then switch to your frag grenades instead, and that could be all kinds of fun as well. And that is our take on Piper Kruger. And of course, probably the most interesting build on this is going to be your vehicle, which is called the Hellcat. It is driven by a Guild of Coin Hauler, and it's going to cost you 400 credits even. This guy is driving a Wolf Quad that is also wheeled. It's got a heavy flamer for all kinds of fun, ram, so that way it can ram into targets, reinforced armor for that +1 to its hull points, nitro burners to make this thing movement 9, all-wheel steering to increase the handling, as well as Will Sky Sorter to scrape up opponents going past him, headlights so you can see the dark, and it's also got the agile skill. Now what this will do with all the upgrades is make this Wolf Quad a 3 hull point Wolf Quad with movement 9 with a battering ram to damage enemy vehicles. Now the damage for the ram is coming the speeds that you're traveling at to hit your enemies, so that card be kind of cool. At the same time, with all-wheel steering, makes the vehicle have a handling of 4+, and with a wheel scythe, give it a strength 4, damage 1 attack against enemies within 1 inch of it as well. Plus, the enemy flamer is good to use against infantry to set guys on fire. Same thing with vehicles. You can use those blaze conditions for the fighters, as well as make your opponents pass cool tests to see if their vehicles can be handled as well, which is absolutely fantastic. I highly check out the battle reports where the Hellcat is featured, because this thing is zipping around, setting people on fire and ramming things to death, which is all kinds of fun. And of course, for the last 50 credits, you're going to recruit a Rogue Doc with a Last Pistol, Medicae Kit, and Medicae, and because these guys are worth their weight in gold, especially if a fighter who gets critically injured. So now that we're done talking about the starting roster, let's talk about exactly how you use this gang on the tabletop. Alright, so when it comes to deployment, this is pretty much how your team is going to look like. Your Assault Fire Team number 1, which will be the center front, will consist of Tiberius Cage, Clint Tombstone, as well as Piper Kruger. Now on either side of Assault Team number 1 will be Assault Team number 2, as well as Assault Fire Team number 3. Assault Fire Team number 2 consists of Enda, Thor, Onyx Blade, and Shroom, while Assault Fire Team number 3 consists of Crag, Orc Slayer, and Helios Hex. Assault Team number 4 is going to be your Hellcat, which is the guys aren't on the mounted on the Wolf Quad, and then finally your Support File Team will consist of Alicia Winters, as well as Morgan Showtime Creed. That's where your Hotshot Last Rifle, as well as your Long Last, is located. And this is pretty much how you're going to set up on your half of the battlefield against your enemy. Alright, so the top of turn number 1, what's going to happen is this. You're going to have your Assault Fire Teams move up as quickly as they can in order to get within range of your enemy fire teams, with your Assault Fire Team number 4, your Hellcat, taking the most far-reaching flank to kind of zip around and get directly towards the enemy. What's going to happen is your Support Fire Team is going to isolate one half of your enemy's fighting forces by using the suppression power of their Long Last, as well as their Last Gun, Hotshot Last Gun, against your enemies. Hopefully you can pin some guys or kill some guys outright. At the same time, Assault Fire Team number 1's Piper Kruger then launch bomb rats directly against this other half of the fire team, enemy fire team, so that you can start blowing guys up using blasting charges or frag grenades, whichever one is easier for you. So hopefully by turn number 2, what ends up happening is that Assault Fire Team number 1, Assault Fire Team number 2, as well as your Hellcat charge directly into one half of your enemy fighting positions. That way, Tiberius Cage, Clint Tombstone are blowing guys away with their melted gun as well as their shotgun. Piper Kruger's dropping bomb rats wherever she can. At the same time, Endothor, Onyx Blade, and Shroom are also causing all kinds of problems. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side of the battlefield, Assault Fire Team number 3 should be engaged in close combat with your enemy's second half of their deployment. So Crag, Orc Slayer, as well as Helio Hex is running around killing guys there. At the same time, your Fire Support Team also moves up and also fires with their weapons, catching your second enemy fire team in a crossfire. Finally, by the time you get to turn number 3, hopefully the enemy fire team on the left-hand side is destroyed. You then take the rest of your elements and have them swarm directly into what's remaining of your enemy and finish those guys in close quarters battle and in close combat as well. So now that we're done talking about exactly how to use this gang on the tabletop, let's talk about how this gang should develop over the course of a campaign. Alright, so when it comes to campaign development, the first thing you want to do, of course, is to purchase Gutter Forge Cloaks as soon as possible for your Venators. At 15 credits, what these things are going to do is they're going to increase your armor saves. So if your fighters are wearing mesh armor, it's going to increase their armor saves to 4-up. If you have a 3-up armor saves, it's going to increase to a 2-up, etc. Absolutely fantastic. And the second reason why I want to get Gutter Forge Cloaked as well is because it gives you a 5-up ward save against environmental effects. So if you're playing out in the Ash Wastes and the Underhive and the Bad Zones, it doesn't really matter all that much because for 15 credits, it's giving you a 5-up ward save against those environmental effects and a better armor save. It's absolutely fantastic. I highly suggest you get those because of the way your Venator gang is set up. Now the next thing you should probably also save up for is also a larger vehicle to carry the rest of your gang. You can go with a custom medium vehicle if you want to, or anything bigger. That could also help you out. Some other wood ones, of course, would be Ridge Haulers as well as Iron Crawlers. Ridge Haulers would be good for income generation for your gang, as well as helping out with some of the higher ammo rolls with your weapons that you're carrying for your gang as well. Of course, you could go with an Iron Crawler because it's built more for battle. At the same time, it can transport your gang and protect them, and they can still shoot out of it without having to buy heavy weapons. Could also be a really cool thing as well. Or like I said before, you go with a custom vehicle if you want to save credits. You either go with a heavy vehicle or go with a medium vehicle. It's really up to you as well. Now, do be aware, because you are a Venator gang, you can only really recruit generic brutes, hired guns, as well as hanger-ons, so do keep that in mind. However, that being said though, a pair of infiltrating ambots could be really fun to use with this gang, especially if you decide to play on the battlefield as well. So in conclusion, this is another wonderful game that was originally inspired by Double Skull Wargaming, and like I said before, if you haven't checked out his channel, check it out. It's got some really cool stuff on there. Like I said before, this is excellent for narrative heavy based battle reports because every fighter is kind of like their own individual specialists, which is actually kind of neat. It's a very unique gang with some really cool interesting lists on it, so I can't wait to see what people think of it on their own games from Necromunda as well. And also, if you guys have any more ideas or recommendations for an interesting game that you want to see being created, please put it down in the description box below and I'll see what I can do to make it happen for you guys on these videos. So that's good for this week, guys. As always, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. Your guys' input is valuable to us as always. Also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, as well as blogger.com for all the latest greatest hobby news related to this channel. That's good for this week, guys. I'll catch you guys next one. Peace out and stay classy.